How would you feel after watching a completely inept performance by your football team, being completely embarrassed on your home turf, and then finding out that them players couldn't be asked going back into training for the analysis part of what happened in that game? Well, you're going to tell me, because we're going to talk about it right now. Get in the live section and tell me that I am wrong on this. It's going to split opinion on my say on what is going on with United on the training ground, but I want your opinions on it and let me know if you think I'm wrong. This is FUTV United TV. I'm Adam. Welcome along to the show, everybody. It's live. Make sure you get your comments in the live section now, and of course, get your comments in straight after the live stream. If you're playing catch up tonight and you're on your way back in from work, hope you've had a good day, by the way. But yes, Bayern Day, Rashford, Murto, Zidane. All this news to come as well, but we're starting with the story which is right at the bottom of your stream there. Screen even. Right there, Jamie Jackson from The Guardian. Our man, he's been on this show before. Good friend, Jamie Jackson, works for The Guardian, Northwest football correspondent for The Guardian and Independent. And he has been talking, he's been talking to someone in the club, and he does have good contacts in Manchester United, I know this for certain. He has been saying that Manchester United players, after the Fulham game, requested a day off on Sunday. Now, it would have been organised, and the issue I've got with this is, this would have been organised, this would have been set in stone, that if you lose, you come in the next day. I mean, the only reason I see these players not wanting to come into Manchester United, into Carrington the day after, is because they don't want to be told that they're shit. They don't want to be battered again by the manager. A day off, seriously, come on. Now, there's the argument, which we're going to get into in a minute, about all these players being injured, because apparently now we're missing possibly 3 more first-team players for the game against Forest tomorrow, in Maguire, Bruno and Varane. It's game over if that happens. It really is. We're done. But we'll get into that in a minute, and that's the argument of it. Are they being overworked in training? Well, everybody knows that the training session after a match day is not a normal drilled and grilled training session where you're busting a gut and you are up to match sharpness type of training. It's not that. It's an analysis, it's a warm down, it's a recovery, and everything is taken into consideration. For the players, and I can't see Jamie just making this story up. I really can't. He'd have checked with the club and he would have run it. That's what happens in the media. Well, with some people. But I know Jamie, and I spoke to him personally a lot of times, and he does do this. He does run it by the clubs and he does report it. They have to report it. Now, that side of it, training-wise, like I said, it's a different debate, and we'll talk about that in a second, but we know that that wasn't a full-on training session on Sunday. It's set in stone. If you lose the game, if you win the game, it would have already been organised by the club, by the manager, that we lose and we come in, we analyse, we go through it. It's part of punishment, really. And let's be honest, you need to come back in anyway, because you've got 2 games in a week and you need to be organised and ready for Forest. So straight away, you need to get your tactics in place, you need to get everything done. A day off? You get the afternoon off anyway, so what are you bleeding moaning about? It's an absolute disgrace that these players are actually wanting a day off. It really is. After that performance against Fulham, and you actually want to be off the next day, you're requesting a day off, and the staff have said point blank no. Who they class as staff, I do not know, but I can only assume it's Erik ten Hag, because being around ten Hag, being behind the scenes, on tour, European excursions, and listening to the staff, and who is in charge of Manchester United with all this going on, the organisation of interviews, training, press conferences, it's Ten Hag. He runs that ship, so that is him. So when they say staff, they're covering it up by not saying it's Ten Hag, because they don't want any more heat on him right now. That's what's happening. The media, and you can criticise them all you want, and some people will say the media are going in on United here. They love it when you lose, but Manchester United are the biggest club in the world. You have to expect, when you are in a season like we are, people are going to write, people are going to talk. It comes with the territory. You want the biggest deals, you want the most money, you want the most coverage. You've got the biggest media circus around you. Deal with it. It's not a vendetta against Manchester United. I've said it before, the media need Manchester United. United need the bleeding media. It's the same. It goes hand in hand. So no one is bigging up a story here just for headlines and column and clicks and whatever it may be. It is full on. Manchester United have got leaks still at this football club, and these players are giving up on Erik ten Hag. I'm convinced of it. They do not want to know. They are in a cannot be asked mood right now, and it is showing. It really is showing. They are an absolute disgrace to the shirt. If this is the case, and I believe it to be, I don't think Jamie Jackson, like I said, would have just made this up. If this is the case, then it just gets worse and worse. There's no accountability. They want everything nice, this football team. That comfort bubble again. I'm talking about it yet again. Where no one can get in from the outside and they're all protected. Well, someone's actually in there in Ten Hag. And I've been moaning his interviews. I've been moaning the way he sometimes controls the games and his in-game management and what he says after the games. But one thing that this man has done, he's definitely got a grip on these players' egos, and they do not like it. He is really drill sergeant type, and he has got these players grafting. Now, is it grafting too much? I'm going to come into the chat quickly because we've got a new member who is Dave Fairfull. Welcome to the Members Club, my friend. Hope you're doing well, Dave. You automatic legend. Sorry, I started to clear my throat then. I was going a little bit of an Adam rant, wasn't I? Please give the video a like, guys, by the way. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. We're on the road to 40k. It's getting ever closer. TikTok, here it comes. Rory C with a super cheers, Rory. He says, that request must come from the captain to the manager. Surely the players wouldn't go behind Bruno's back. Either way, no leadership in this squad. I think they would go behind Bruno's back, to be honest, Rory. But yes, I agree with you there. It should come from the captain. He would go to the manager for the players, request that day off, and be told what's what. He got a slap in the face, virtual slap in the face, and told, no, get your asses in. We have got work to do. That's what you would expect. If these players had anything about them, they wouldn't even think about requesting a day off. They wouldn't even think about not coming in and showing as much effort as possible to try and rectify the wrongs that went on in that game. There is no excuse when you've got a full week's preparation and then you come out and play like that against Fulham to then want a day off the day after. That's as bad as Marcus Rashford going out on the Raz to celebrate after being dicked in the derby at home. There's no room for it. And you know what? Read the room again, United players. Oh my God, that bubble, it's like they have got no bleeding idea what's going on outside of Carrington or Old Trafford. The protection of these players is needed, but it is to the detriment of them and the reality of what the real world is actually like and what is expected at Manchester United. So the sooner Sir Jim gets everything in place, the better. It really is, because this club is falling apart. It really is falling apart. These stories and these leaks coming out again, it's all good and well when United are winning. Like I said, it covers up over all the cracks. I'm talking more positively. We're trying to find positives because we're getting results. The football is crap, let's be honest. Like I said yesterday, United have been beaten in every single game, but we've managed to get the result. We're always second best. But we're showing character and we're showing grit and determination to grind it out until the end, until we can maybe fleece this squad of all of the dead wood and the bad eggs, and then let's see if we can really build something then. But still, no. We go on and on and on, and the continued leaks come. As soon as a bad result happens at United, floodgates open. And you know what? It's not so much the media. The media are doing their job. It's the people inside United. What the hell? I mean, you can criticise me for being negative or going in or making a headline or talking about a certain tricky, awkward subject. It needs to be talked about. We're fans. We're being conned by these players right now. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to give our opinions on it, and we're going to have our say. And if it is negative and it is brutal, then so be it. These players just turn up to Old Trafford and turn up to Carrington and just think they can just put the shirt on and turn out and perform like that, then I'm not having it at all. So we're going to talk about it. But who at United is leaking all of this information out? It's an absolute joke. Like I said, I look at everything from what I see. I read everything. I watch everything. I'll take in all of the stats, the analysis. But the biggest thing that I always judge everything on with this football club, and you know it, and I say it every single time, it's the eye test. You cannot kid what you've actually watched, and you cannot kid someone's body language or someone's attitude. Bruno Fernandes berating Michael Oliver after the game, after that performance, pathetic. Ten Hag's comments after the game, pathetic. It's raw, it's passionate, and he's doing his job, but seriously, no, Eric, that's just delusional. The performance on the pitch of Marcus Rashford, the performance on the pitch of several players, just No, you cannot hide that. So don't come out in the media later. Don't leak a story out later or speak to someone just to put something out there and put the feelers out how everyone is, saying that you are you are upset, you are disappointed, you want to put things right. No. We all know the goal again. We didn't like that result, not what we wanted, and we'll make it better the next time. We work hard. Because the club's going to throw you back under the bus again, because there's people in that football club that just leak out the information that we've just got now, which says that these players actually wanted a day off. A day off. Shut up. Can you imagine if Roy Keane was about now? He'd be telling them players to get their asses in doing laps. We work this off, boys. We get back in training and we sort this out. What went wrong? Get in front of that video and watch that game back. That's what them players would have been doing against Fulham. They would have been analysing. They would have been doing what Jamie Bleeding Carragher did. They've been looking at the gaps between the midfield, trying to play low defence while trying to push high in the press and leaving massive gaps for the likes of Mainu, Casemiro in the middle that just have not got the pace to deal with a dynamic midfield. And Fulham are not even that dynamic. They've got pre-season Pirlo Pereira in their team, for God's sake, who ripped us to pieces. It will be. I mean, seriously, it will be. He looked like prime Seedorf in that game against Fulham. Get your ass into training, get your ass into Carrington, and look how embarrassing your performance was against a reject from a team that's now surpassed you in Arsenal, because you've stood still and just accepted that this is the standard and this is okay. You bunch of, let's call them Gary Neville, bottle jobs. That's what you are. That feels better. Okay, let's get into the chat and see what you guys are saying. Z Flute, welcome to the members club, gifted by the Honest Tiger. Thank you, Honest Tiger. Love that. And Z Flute, thank you very much as always. Dobby says the banter, play like you mean it, needs to be at the next few games, because these players think they have conned the fan base into thinking that this is all Erik ten Hag's fault. The players need a reminder. That banner is going to be there. That banner is going to be there at that game, I tell you, at Nottingham Forest. They are going to get absolute pelters off the fans if they turn up like they did against Fulham. They are going to get annihilated. I'm telling you right now. I know where this fan base is at right now, and it won't be accepted. It won't be accepted. I've been in that crowd. I've been in the away end. You know, I've been to every single ground. It will be hostile, to say the least. Now, actually, let's get into the chat first. You're going to tell me, aren't you, first of all? Let's see. Frank Davison, I have more respect for Ranić. He said it as it was. It cost him personally, but he can keep his head high. Yes, he certainly can. The team had a day off against Fulham Saturday, says George. I like that one, George. That's a great comeback. Rashford wants to play for Sir Jim, the tax dodger. Rashford doesn't want to play for anyone. He wants to walk on that pitch and think that he's just going to be given to him. That's what Rashford thinks right now. And that's what I've seen again. Like, that's my personal opinion. You guys, come in the chat and tell me I'm wrong. Like, everything I look at, everything I read, and everything I bring with my own personal opinion on the side. And that's just from what I'm seeing. I read body language, look at the players' attitudes, look at the stats, look at the way that they play in front of you, and how you can be so lackluster in front of a home crowd. 75,000 fans screaming your name, signing autographs as you go in. They idolise you, and you put out that kind of performance. Yeah, that's how I look at it. That's how I judge these players. Players going down injured so they don't have to face City, says Nick. Someone said that the other day. Super chat in from Lee Mack. Thank you, Lee. Rashford is defo one that wanted a day off. I think everyone. Like I said, I just didn't put Rashford on the thumbnail for the sake of it, just to have a go at him. But if you had to pick a player out of this Manchester United squad now that just oozes out and shouts out at you, I cannot be asked, who would you pick? Go on, just tell me in the chat right now. What player? Don't be persuaded by me and what I've done already. What player actually jumps out at you and tells you, I just cannot give a flying toss? What player in Man United's team tells you that right now? And try to tell me that I'm wrong. Lee, I would not doubt that was the case. Graham, shut up. I'm not doing pronunciations tonight. I'm in a mood, mate. It's not the time. I'm not having a go. Carragher was spot on. High press, low block. Why aren't our so-called coaching staff going through this with the players? We've been playing like this all season. You can't do both. No, you can't. There has to be balance. We're losing a coach in Eric Ramsey after the derby, and we're not replacing him. Ooh, that's clever. That's it. So all of these coaches, we're now one coach down, and that job is going to be covered by the rest of the coaching staff until the end of the season. That's smart, isn't it? Yeah, it's not like we've got a long chunk of the season left to run, is it? And we're fighting for the Champions League and we need all the help we can get. No, not at all. That's just United's planning and how Manchester United do things, isn't it? Mr Miracle, Bruno got injured. I thought it was fake at first, but he was genuinely hurt and played through it. He was genuinely hurt. He got up and then hit the shot which created the goal. So he did play through the pain barrier. That's that sort of attitude that Ten Hag wants from a player. He wants players to play through. He would put that painkilling injection into anyone's injury, Ten Hag, and get him on the pitch rather than use his squad. We know that. You only have to hear the rumours going around about Altay Bayindir right now, and he's going to be gone in the summer, basically, because he knows he is not going to get a chance at Manchester United. He's not going to get it. Well, Onana is here, and Erik Ten Hag is in charge. We will never see Bayindir. It was a farce how we managed to get Onana back so quickly and send him out so late to lead in AFCON. Maybe the kids who come in tomorrow will do better, and we know they will play for the club. That's true. That's true. It could be a bit of a silver lining if all these players are out. So just to update you on what is actually happening injury-wise. So we'll now talk about the other side of it and Ten Hag grilling and drilling these players in training. It didn't happen on Sunday, by the way. That never happens the day after the game. You know it doesn't. It's just all about analysis and warm down and treatment and looking out over the players. So we are now missing Harry Maguire. In the embargoed version, he's told MUTV of the press conference today that Maguire is out. And there are doubts over Varane and Bruno. Now, Bruno will play because he just doesn't do injuries. I think he will take that painkilling injection. And Varane, I think he'll be out as well. And if that is the case, we are lambs to the slaughter. We really are. But we may get a bit of effort from the kids. Camberwella will have to come in. There's no word on Evans yet. No one's even asked a question. So that's Evans, Maguire, Martinez, Varane. All could possibly be missing for the game against Forest. It's down to the bare bones, pure desperation right now for Manchester United. It really is. We could even, what we're going to see, we could see a centre-back partnership of Camberwella and Victor Lindelof against Nottingham Forest. We're probably going to have Amrabat at left back because there's no one else, and we'll probably have Dalot at right back. That's our back line with Onana in goal. You gotta laugh or you'll cry, aren't you? It's like, what is going on this season? What's happened to this team? We are dropping like flies. We are. We're being picked off by the sniper. Oh my God. Stephen Harper, Bruno as captain should be encouraging younger players, but instead moans at them. I think he moans and encourages. He does his own thing. I mean, you've heard Kobe Mainoo's interview today talking about Bruno and how he looks up to him. He obviously does a lot of good. And from the outside, looking in, it may look like he's moaning, but he's clearly liked by the players. But I still do believe that. Like, these leaks coming out right now talking about the so-called wanted day off, they are all of leaks and splits within the football club. That's what I believe. Now, there was another story going around. It was on social media early on regarding Erik Ten Hag and Marcus Rashford's relationship. And the Sun were reporting that Erik Ten Hag and Marcus Rashford are barely speaking to each other. They are not on talking terms at all, and it looks like it is completely irreparable. Ten Hag feels like he was conned by Marcus Rashford in dealing with the Belfast situation, how he felt conned that Marcus Rashford tried to cover it up and say that it was the night before when it was just in fact 2 nights, like we've said all along. There has then been a report saying that this is all completely false and the relationship is okay. I can tell you right now, let's be honest, do we need anyone to tell us that? That relationship is dead when it comes to football. It is dead. because Marcus Rashford cannot be asked playing for this manager. His body language tells you everything. So you can forget about what's going on behind the scenes. It's when you walk out on that pitch that we're bothered about. And Marcus Rashford does have an issue with Ten Hag. I can tell you that now for nothing. I really can. Like, just from what I'm watching, the Rashford and the way he just doesn't really care. He just can't be. He is like the whole title of this video right now. He cannot be asked. He really can't. And that comes across in how he plays and how he conducts himself on the pitch. And you can't ignore that. That's there. It's there for everyone to see. So I do believe that Marcus Rashford's relationship with Ten Hag has run its course. I think it's a big problem. And like I said in the previous videos, I mean, I know what I'm watching. I know what I see on the pitch. And until you cut the head off the monster, as Graham corrected me from the dragon and monster's the same, innit? It's always going to carry on the way it is. These players are always going to be there. Ten Hag has to somehow survive just to get these players out. It really does. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Before, I was going on the Ten Hag side of things and talking about how he's just with his delusional comments and has to go. And you can't survive talking like that. The actual coaching and United set up on the pitch, all Ten Hag. Ten Hag has done brilliantly off the pitch in dealing with these players and really reprimanding these players. He has done some real good work at this football club. You just needed the results to go the right way as well, just to see it through. But honestly, that brings us on to the next part of the show as well, where we're talking about Manchester United wanting Zinedine Zidane. It is a dream of Ineos to have Zidane as their manager. I don't think it's a dream. I'm definitely not thinking that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is gone to bed at night dreaming of Zinedine Zidane pulling on that blazered Manchester United suit with the emblem on it and the crest. I don't think that's the case at all. The reports are coming from the French side of things, and obviously a lot of link them with Jean-Claude Blanc, obviously the French connection there, pardon the pun, with Zinedine Zidane coming to United. He's obviously out of work, and he is a manager with a big enough ego to handle anyone. Let's be honest, he has won everything, and he's handled the biggest egos in world football. So he wouldn't be put off by managing Manchester United. He doesn't speak English, and will that be a problem? It's, for me, I feel like that story is just one that's just generated like the others have. Like the Zerbi this morning, like Gary Neville's. As soon as the results start going south for Manchester United, then you start to hear stories regarding managers, possible managers, anyone who looks like he's out of a job or going to be out of a job, anyone who looks like or anyone who's actually not working right now, for instance, anyone with a decent resume is going to start getting linked with Manchester United. That's not that British core that Sir Jim was talking about or reportedly talking about. He's not mentioned that since he's been talking out in public, though, has he? So yeah, the Zidane stories I think have just been a natural sort of progression of the negativity of the results on the pitch, and the stories are being brought out simply because I think 2 and 2 together, and people are reporting. I think Zidane will be thought about. I think, obviously, if Zidane is there, available as a manager for United, and you need a manager, then you're obviously going to look at Zidane, aren't you? He has to be on the shortlist. If Mourinho's there, if Inzaghi's there, if De Zerbi's there, Nagelsmann's there, then Zidane's there, isn't he? He's up there, definitely, with the others. Stephen Harper has gifted a membership, and that has been taken by FCMU. Thank you, Stephen, and welcome to the Members Club, FCMU. We've got another super chat in from Frank Davison. He says, everyone knows players need to go, but for F's sake, don't let one mistake cover another. Erik ten Hag is out of his depth. There is one going right in on Eric there. He's had enough. He's had enough. Zidane's next to take the Paris job, probably Adam. I don't know. I don't get. If it is Zidane, it is Zidane. Honestly, I wouldn't pick Zidane for United. I'm not looking to big up that move at all. I don't think he fits us right now. I don't think it's that type of project for United. I think the manager needs to grow with the team that he's creating right now at United. I think it needs time. I think Zidane is more of a quick fix manager right now. I think that's why he's going to a team that's already at the top and expected to win, like he did at Madrid, like he's going to do if he does go to Paris Saint-Germain, or if he takes the French job, for instance. I think that's where Zidane's at right now. There's a reason why he's hanging around. I think we may see Zidane do a dual role. I think he'll take the Paris and the French job, to be honest. I think that's where he's heading. I think he just wants... and with them teams and them squads that he's got there, I think he will be a serial winner again, like he was at Madrid. Mr. Miracle says, I can see how Zidane may be a decent fit. He is a larger-than-life person, and no player at the club can be bigger than him, ever. That alone demands a level of respect, but I feel it's all fake news. You convince yourself, don't you? And then you go, nah, it's not happening. Can't happen. Definitely not. Give the video a like, please, guys. We are 7,500 in the room with us right now. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button as well. As you can see there, we're closing in on the 40,000 subscriber mark. Keep it coming, guys, and please do download our app, our SofaScore app. Scan that QR code bottom right hand corner, or drop in the description. It is the top link right there, guys. Click on that. It is free. Free. Best football app there is. All of your stats, all of your ratings, all of your updates, transfers, injuries for every single club team through all of the pyramid and internationals as well. And if you like your baseball and cricket, it's got that on there as well. The fastest and rated in the top 20 on App Store as well, guys. Mint. Translation from Mancunian. Very good. There you go. Just for you people who don't understand Manx slang as it is. Let me see what else we've got in the chat. Xabi Alonso is easily the best pick. Look at all the good young players on that squad that he has brought on. Now listen, I'm not bursting that bubble. I think Xabi Alonso has done excellent work at Bayer Leverkusen. But again, Tuchel was doing great work in Germany, wasn't he, at Dortmund as well. He is a good manager. He's a good young manager, and he is dealing with very, very low expectations there at Leverkusen. He's just riding that wave. He is. There will come a moment, like every manager, where he comes unstuck. It is very young, and it is very early in his career. The signs look really, really good, and I wouldn't bring Alonso to Manchester United if he was available. I don't think he's the right fit right now. I don't think he would want to come to United anyway, but personally, I think he just needs a bit more experience, I think he's been earmarked for one of the big jobs. And do you know what? Like I said, I'm not a bubble burster, but I am for United. I want to burst that bubble. But with Alonso, let's just see. It could be good, and he could be absolutely mega and carry on his form that he's got at Leverkusen and his development. But I just feel like there is a tough time coming from him as well. And it's all nice and it's all great now, but give a manager 5 years and let's see how well they do. Let me just see. Now we have a new member in the house, gifted by General Foodie, Wesley Mank. Welcome to the members club, my friend. Adam needs a day off to cook for Kaz. Is Kaz cooking? Yeah, I think she's back now. Yes. Bring back Ralph, says Frank. Henry Long, greetings Adam. Look at Klopp. He used a lot of youth team players and won the cup. So what's our excuse? We don't have a system, and we don't have players or a squad that believe in our manager. Oddstar, what's the point changing the manager when we still have the players who must go but have 2 or 3, 4 years left on their contracts? Well, not all of them. Rashford, Sancho, the 2 main culprits. Rashford's got 5, Sancho's got 3. Maguire's is running out. Obviously, Lindelof's and Wan-Bissaka's are running out as well. Bruno's is running out. There are quite a few that are dropping down. So it's not a case of every single player at Manchester United on a big wage has got a long contract. There are a few coming, and I think this is why we can be a bit more upbeat and positive about how the transfer window actually goes this summer. It's going to be a bit different. So yeah, I've got hope for that, and I do think that there will be a difference this time around this summer. So let's hope that does force the issue in a way more than anything, because before, if you gave United an excuse to keep any player, they were going to keep him, weren't they? What do we reckon to the Bayindir sort of story now, guys? This is another problem that Ten Hag is creating himself. It really is. And you only have to look at it, and Altay Bayindir is seriously giving consideration to moving to what is reportedly an offer from Galatasaray in the summer. Galatasaray have made him their #1 target. And you cannot blame him. You can't fault him for wanting to look elsewhere to play. He has got no chance of playing, absolutely no chance of playing while Ten Hag is the manager at this football club. It's ridiculous. And I think Ten Hag has got this one wrong. He has stretched his first team players to the point of bursting. He did it last season. And in that first season as the manager, everyone will run through brick walls for it. They think it's great. They think it's new. But it's keeping that momentum going. It's keeping that attitude going. It's keeping the players all interested and all as one with the cause going forward. It's like taking the captaincy off Harry Maguire and giving it Bruno, and then Maguire wanting to play for United and still knuckling down and playing better than what he did last season, to be fair to him. But it's hard to do it for every player. The situation with Bayindir and Onana is an absolute farce. That I've said my piece on that many a times. It's an absolute joke how Bayindir can't get in this team. For me, I look at it and go, what a waste of money on both sides. Like, you could have bought another goalkeeper and you could have kept Tom Heaton if you were going to do this. Like, you went and bought one striker knowing that all you had was Martial. You could have done the same with the goalkeeper. You didn't have to go out and buy 2 goalkeepers. You had a good youth team goalkeepers. You had Tom Heaton, and you could have just bought one. Now, the debate is up with Onana. Obviously, we know about him. It's his own story anyway. But my issue with the Bayindir one is, like, there's a full international goalkeeper right there who is just never going to play for the football club. And now he realises that that is the case. He's looking elsewhere. And I can't blame him. I hope he goes and finds football elsewhere and does well. Whether or not a new manager coming in will change things, I tell you what, here's a question. If a new manager does come into Manchester United by the end of the season, I don't think Onana's going to be #1. I don't. I think Onana's there simply because Ten Hag puts him there. That's it. Dobby, the Kovar sale was not on Erik Ten Hag. This Bayindir situation is on Murto. Sold Kovar and bought Bayindir. Now Bayindir wants first team football. Kovar would have kept the bench warm and been happy. The manager can tell Murto that he doesn't want that player. Now, if it does turn out to be that way, Dobby, then we've got an even bigger issue. And that is of John Murto again. I did a video on this the other day, but there is now another story coming out today that John Murto will be offered a new role at Manchester United, but it is he is undecided whether to accept it or not. Finally, some good news. Murto with no power at Manchester United. That is a way forward for us. It's a step in the right direction. God, at least Ineos are making some things right anyway. But yeah, him being anywhere near that control button, that red button, buy, sell, sell. You know that button, don't you? The power one. The one that gives these guys their egos at Manchester United. You know, the ones employed from within. The jobs for the boys people. The ones that are being weaned out by Ineos, thank God. They're the ones that are a problem at Manchester United. And if it does, like Dobby says, turn out to be that way, then you're looking at it and going, oh, that's why Ten Hag is never going to succeed at this football club. It's another reason why he's never going to be able to make it. You just wanted to see Ten Hag under Ineos and see if he could do it. I just think the results are going to run out for him. We are going to have our worst home record ever recorded in a season in the league, and it's going to be on Ten Hag's head. And that is hard to shift. That sort of title, that sort of mantle is really difficult to move away from a manager's resume. It really is. And I don't know if you'll be able to survive past this season. It's like you will look at one of the worst records in United's history and then Ten Hag's name above it. You cannot forget that. And that will be etched in everyone's memories. And the world will let us know about it. Trust me, they're never going to let this go. We're still suffering with a 7-0. Like, that tag is still stuck on Ten Hag losing 7-0 to Liverpool. It's an embarrassment. Things like that at United, unless you start winning trophies, they stick around and they stick to managers. And people will always hold him against it. Always hold them against it. I've said that right, God's sake. A super chat in from Lee. Cheers, Lee. Bang all over it this morning, mate. And again tonight. Really appreciate that, buddy. Hi mate, at the end of the day, I would love for Ineos to make an example of one major player. Let him go in the summer, i.e. Rashford. It will get all these lazy / moaning scum in line immediately. Told you mate, chop the head off the monster. That's Rashford. If Rashford goes, everything else flows. I'm telling you right now. If he goes, that's your major statement right there. And Manchester United move forward from that. I'm into the chat, guys. Get your comments in now. Lila United says, Adam, Ineos ID, same thing in Nice and what? Nothing. Complete typo heaven there, mate. Please just resend that. But yeah, in Nice, they're second and quite comfortable now, mate. They've learnt from their mistakes. And that's what I would say on that one. Hopefully they can learn from that and take that into United. Adam, I don't believe the Kovar / Fernandez deals were sanctioned by Erik ten Hag. I think they were, actually. I do believe they were. Ten Hag could have brought Fernandez back, and he chose not to. That's up to him. He's the one who is deciding what players come in, what players go from this squad right now. And like he said in his interview with Dutch media after he got the job, transfers, in and out transfers, and being control of the playing staff is a must for Erik ten Hag. Otherwise, he won't accept the job. So I can't see him saying that and then accepting that he is going to be overpowered by the likes of Murto. I believe they were done to raise funds because the idiot Murto overspent on other signings. Yeah, but we didn't make much money out of them signings, Dobby, which is why, again, I do believe that Ten Hag did have a say in it. Everything we complain about Ten Hag has been doing, it's such strange behaviour. It is. Very strange, Proton. David, Tuchel will be available end of the season. Chelsea made their biggest mistake ever sacking him. Do you rate Tuchel, David? What do you guys think of Tuchel? UK Strains says, I think getting rid of Bruno is the biggest statement. No, mate, it's Rashford. It's always Rashford. Always will be Rashford. Trust me on that one. He is the Man United pin-up boy. So, yeah, it will be him for me. Rashford to Preston North End. Andrew Williams, people massively overrate stability in the manager's position. Stability worked with Fergie, but other approaches have worked elsewhere, i.e. Real Madrid, Bayern and Chelsea. It's true. Very true. SRC, I am all for giving Erik ten Hag one more season under the footballing CEO and director of football, not bankers, and especially not Murto. The problem with giving Erik ten Hag another season, that would coincide with him getting a new contract, because I don't think any manager this day and age isn't offered a contract going into the last year of their current one. And that's the scenario we'll have in the summer. It will be a contract renewal for Ten Hag and he stays, or United cut ties and bring someone else in. If he stays, he gets a new deal. That will happen. It automatically happens. I believe they're actually talking about it now behind the scenes already. There'll be something in place for one scenario and another in place for the opposite scenario. I.e., new deal, it's looking good. Sack him if it's looking bad, and the new manager already lined up. Like Neville said this morning, I believe in that, and I believe Ineos will be well organised in preparing for both circumstances at the end of this season. Excuses and more excuses with Rashford's team always will be, and that will never change. They think he is God, and I think he does believe that he is above the football club now. I have always described Rashford and Bruno as two bad children in a classroom. You have to separate them for the rest of the class to be able to get on with their work. It's a good analogy, not bad. I like that one, Mr. Miracle. Adam, do you think Rashford will be sold? No, I don't, because I don't think we can get through that much work unless there is a deal already set in place which has been kept under wraps, i.e. that PSG deal is already in place. We know that PSG have been talking with Rashford's people already, and the president of Paris Saint-Germain has come out and said again that he does like Rashford, and maybe in the summer they will go back in for him, because we know Mbappe's going. So Rashford to PSG, keep an eye on that. That really could happen this summer. I think it'd have to be pushed from PSG's side though, and Rashford's people. I don't think United will make a massive effort to move Rashford on. I think if an offer comes in that they can't turn down, comes in, and Rashford makes it like he wants to go, we're hearing rumours that he wants to be part of Ineos' project. I think that's just a lot of crap from his PR, to be honest. But yeah, I do believe that the only way Rashford goes is if he sort of makes the noise himself and PSG join in. It would be the perfect time to sell him now, because I think he loses value next season. PSG will probably be the only ones in for him at the price that we could get for him this summer, and they will already have a replacement in place, PSG, if they don't get Rashford in the summer. So yeah, that's how I see that one panning out. How do you rate Tuchel? Well, to win the Champions League with that Chelsea side speaks for itself. Yeah, Tuchel is a good manager. I've spoke with Tuchel. I was in Munich later last year. He is a very, very well educated man who knows his football incredibly well, and he is a very, very good manager. And you shouldn't just look at his negatives and what he has failed at certain clubs in the Premier League. Chelsea is a poison chalice for any manager. It doesn't matter who you are. We're the best of the best have been there and failed. Won and failed. So look at what they did do good. Under a better, stable outfit, will Tuchel succeed? I think so. I think Tuchel under a clean slate at United might actually work. Might actually work, but the state we're in right now, no. I don't think he does work. Harry Di Stefano, I think both Rashford and Bruno need direction. No one should be allowed to run around like a chicken without a head. Bruno, in brackets, or not trap back and compete for 90 minutes. Rashford, in brackets. I like the way you structured that comment there. Lee, back in with another super chat. Thank you, Lee. Legend. You know what disappointed me the most about Bruno is the fact that he's the leader, the captain, but is scolding out youngsters like Garnacho, but is no example. Mr. Kick and Charge can't get his head up. I think a bit harsh on Bruno, to be honest. All of the younger players speak glowingly about Bruno, so he is doing something good. He is. I understand where you're coming from with the comment. Like, he's bitching and moaning is definitely the most irritating thing about him. And as a captain, you don't want to really see it. But yeah, honestly, I think it's hard to say where it's going to go. But no one is safe, I don't think, this summer. The problem you've got is the avalanche, the big pile up of absolute dross is just in front of the average and not good enough players. The dross has to go first. We need to make room for new people coming in. Maybe them new players then coming in will start to force the players that everyone is moaning about now that are failing on the pitch, the so-called first-team players. Maybe they'll be the ones to force them out finally, or force United's hand automatically. Where is Mason Mount as well? What's going on there? It'll be a good time for him to come back in if Bruno has got a knock. Perfect chance to take his opportunity. Adam, can you smell something? It smells like food, says Stu. I can smell it. I think we're on Thai green curry tonight. Lovely jubbly. I cannot wait. I'm actually going on a Nottingham Forest channel after this as well. Dreading that. They're going to be bullish, aren't they? Absolutely full of beans. Guys, we're live outside tomorrow with another guest at the 12 o'clock show, so tune in for that. We're live outside, and we're going to be in and about the Etihad as well this week, guys. Filming content for you as well. So, oh God, yeah. It's not going to be pleasant. And, yeah, just being around that place. This week, just like, oh my God, it's like this could go seriously wrong. So, guys, if you are just tuning in, the latest news to come out United today. We had the press conference earlier on with Ten Hag. The latest news to come out is that Harry Maguire is definitely out of the game against Forest. And there are late fitness tests and doubts over Bruno Fernandes and Raphael Varane. Now, for me, that's Bruno strapping himself up and taking an injection, and Raphael Varane off. We could, and there is a realistic outlook. Don't laugh at this, but tomorrow, if all of these rumours are right, and this is Ten Hag talking, so it's not a rumour, if all of the injuries do turn out to be worst case scenario, United's back four against Forest tomorrow could be Amrabat at left back, with Camberwell and Lindelof at centre back, and Dalot on the right. We could have a midfield of Scott McTominay, Casemiro and Kobbie Mainoo. And the front line, oh well, if Rashford's probably fit. He's probably going to play in it. That's going to be Rashford, Garnacho, and you take your pick. I don't know who else is going to come in to that team. It could be Anthony, it could be Ahmad. I don't think Forson is going to get a chance now after his performance the other day. Disappointing for him, really disappointing. With no word on Evans actually either, because he was out of the squad. And with no one saying anything, I hope Evans is fit, because I would take Evans all day long at centre-back. I'd go Camberwell and Evans. That would be my preferred. If the so-called injuries and players that could be out or having late fitness tests do come off and are true, then yeah, that's where I would go with it. Honestly, I'm starting to worry about the game tomorrow with the players that are out. But like someone said in the chat earlier on, maybe it's a silver lining. Maybe you'll get some of the younger players coming through that just show a little bit of effort and give us something to cheer about and be proud of. Because right now, no one's proud of this first team at Manchester United, are they? It's like the top story tonight. Players wanting a day off after that dismal performance against Fulham. That would have been organised that everyone knew they were going to be in training the next day if they lost. It's like an analysis day and a warm down and a treatment day. They wanted another day off. Shameful. Really is shameful. And I think they deserve all the criticism they're getting. And they're probably regretting all these people now that are dropping these links and leaks out of Manchester United, because it's starting to fall back and hit them. We talked last night about Jadon Sancho's failings at Dortmund now, not going down well. Hannibal struggling on his loan. Donny struggling on his loan. That Manchester United comfort bubble. The summer camp effect at United. The real world kicks ass. And these United players don't know what the real world is. They really don't. And you know what? I'm not talking about our real world there either. I'm talking about the real world of football, where you're not protected like a Manchester United player is. It is an absolute joke of what these players get sometimes. It really is. Let's just check quickly in with the other news of what is going on. Is there anything else breaking in the world of Manchester United? There is a news and a bit of a story regarding Trafford Council giving plans for a new stadium to Manchester United. Simon Stone of the BBC has reported that one. But in that story as well, it confirms that there will be no funding from outside of the football club. Trafford Council are willing to work with the football club and build up the area. If that includes a new stadium, that is granted and is fully accepted by the council. But there will be no funding from the council or government funding for Manchester United to build a new stadium, or for Sir Jim to see this Wembley of the North come out. It's not going to happen. Domingo, tickle the like button, people. Yeah, guys, give the video a like, please. 260 likes in. Thank you so much. Let's see if we can notch that up to 300 before we finish. So everyone in the chat right now, get on the like button and give the video a like, please. Thank you. And make sure you do subscribe to the channel if you are tuning in for the first time. I'm Adam. This is Forever United TV, the real United channel that just says it straight. Simple as. Michael Bethwaite, should United sign Mauro Icardi from Galatasaray? No, we should not, in my opinion. There are better strikers out there that we can go for. And there'll be plenty of reports out about them players that are actually available for United and them strikers. 5 subs away from 39,600, says Kaz. Get on it, like it, subscribe, people. Come on. Andrew says the players in my mind have always been the ones to blame. All the managers that have been sacked at United is a joke. It's always been these crap players that need to go. These players, everyone says the same thing, don't they? It is always the players. Common denominator. Great show, Adam. You legend, says Henry. I love that comment. I love that. Jimbo, thank God that tax dodger. Again, Sim going in on Sir Jim. It gets old after a while, guys. Come on. You've got to mix it up. Be a bit more creative with your criticism is what I'm saying. Everyone has their opinion, but come on. Sim, you're better than that. That's faint praise, Anthony. I would, but the missus ain't here. I don't know what that conversation is. That's completely spun off in a different direction. And what else have we got in the chat? Get all your comments in now, guys. Now is your time of the show to say and have your go. Why shite Jim asking Gov to pay for a new stadium? Because he's a clever businessman who has earned millions, if not billions, actually billions, sorry, by being crafty, clever, and knowing what he's talking about. That's why. If you can save money, then you're going to do it, aren't you? Everyone does it. I don't think it's Bruno's fault. Maguire is too slow, so forces the defence to play 10 metres deeper, while the midfield pushes higher and presses the opposition. We need quick, dynamic centre-backs and quality centre-backs at this football club. And we need a goalkeeper who is going to actually come off his line and play a sweeper keeper. You cannot play that game unless you actually have a goalkeeper willing to play sweeper keeper. It doesn't matter if you've got quick centre-backs. You look at all the best teams, they all have goalkeepers quite comfortable in running out of the box and covering. So that's what's needed for me, more than anything as well. I thought we bought that keeper, but clearly not. But guys, that is everything on the show tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. Absolutely amazing stream. Plenty of people in. Good numbers again. Great comments tonight, guys, as well. All the new members and the super chats, thank you so much. And just there, right at the end, Stephen Harper has just gifted 5 memberships to the FUTV community, taken by Tony Jones, Dinky Man, Andrew Bancroft, David, and Verbal Kint. Thank you, guys. Welcome to the members club. And obviously, Stephen, you absolute legend. Thank you for doing that donation. You don't have to and didn't have to do that, but it is very much appreciated, my man. Thank you so much. I love this FUTV community. We did just pass over the 600 mark on the subscribers as well. So 39,600. We are 400 away from the big 4-0, guys. Keep it up. Keep liking the video. Subscribe if you're tuning in for the first time. That is us done and dusted, everybody. Thank you so much. It has been an absolute ball and a pleasure as always. Join me tomorrow, 12 o'clock. We're outside. We're live. We've got a guest on as well. Someone you will know as well. So tune in then. The content gets even crazier from this point. Trust me, it's game day tomorrow. I'm nervous. We'll talk about that more tomorrow, guys. Thank you again for tuning in. That is it. Have a great night. Enjoy the football. Come on, Luton. Let's knock them blue noses out the FA Cup. But that's it from us. Cheers, guys. See you tomorrow.